It's panic, it's sheer panic. I think that's the only way I can describe it. My heart pounds, I can't think straight. Headaches, really just shut down. I shut down with complete anxiety. Well, Jeremy was my age. We were both contemporaries, and he lived abroad, but we often spent our summers together. In 2010, he was seeing the world, and it was during those, when he was in the Himalayas, that he was killed in a plane crash. Well, I was never keen on flying. I've never been a good flyer, and it seemed that when Jeremy died, it gave more focus to my fear. It starts way before I even get to the airport. It's even thinking about booking a flight. Horrible fear when I'm waiting in the departure lounge, and then, you know, complete elation when I arrive at the other end. So the whole thing is terrifying to me.
When I first saw Hannah, she was very anxious. As we obviously talked and as the feelings came out, the anxiety increased, and also to a certain extent the emotions increased.
When I arrived at the jet centre, I was quite frightened. I didn't really know what to expect. I was initially concerned about telling Andy about my fear. To be able to talk about Jeremy again and put it into context is still very raw for me, and I wondered how I'd be able to handle that, because it's quite an emotional thing.
To be able to tackle this, one of the things that we want is emotions to come out. There's always a box of tissues up there. Believe you me, we use a lot of them.
When I went into the simulator, I was told that we would be flying to Manchester, which is a 50-minute flight. I was terrified, but all of the dials and everything that you have to do to make that plane fly, it's amazing how quickly that distracts you. And, you know, by the time we got to 6,000 feet, Andy looked at me and he said, "Your face has changed." He could see that I was relaxing into it.
The simulator was a turning point, because she was able to equate something that she was really fearful of, but then actually turn to enjoy it.
The hardest bit was two elements, I would say. One was going into the passenger part of the plane, and because I'm terrified of walking onto a plane and seeing that great expanse of seats, it's just horrible. And it was interesting that afterwards, after we'd been in the simulator and I'd actually flown the plane, going back in there didn't seem as terrifying at all.
The course is unique because we do it one-to-one. Because every individual has different reasons why they have this fear. So we use different techniques. And what we try and do is really get under the skin of the person. So we use cognitive behavioural therapy, known as CBT, and neuro-linguistic programming, which is known as NLP. I'd
say it's life-changing, this experience for me, because what it means is I can see the world, and I think that if he could see me now, I think he'd be, I really hope he'd be proud. I really do.